Hey guys, Warhammer Total War here. So we continue our World Cup adventure, and oh my, has it not been going well? I played 2 games. I can't remember what day it was. Was it Saturday or Friday? I think it might have been Saturday. Well, 2 games. I mean 2 matchups. So I played against vinee01m. And I played against Iskander 2-horn. So I'm not going to be posting Iskander 2-horn today, but I will be posting vinee01m. So just take you straight into the first matchup. So Vinny got to pick. Hope you don't mind me calling you Vinny if you end up watching this. So Vinny got to pick first. So banned. Oh God, what was it? It was like Empire and Dowie, or Empire and Vampire Coast. I think it might have been. And obviously went for MP Alpine Ridge. So I decided to go for Norska, and we'll just take you through the builds real quick before we get going. Alright, so for Norska, I went for quite a wide front line. I figured, look, I'm fighting Wood Elves, they're going to come with bow play, they're going to come with, just lots of skirmishing, what my kind of thoughts were. Even if they went the, whatchamacallit, oh God, what are they called? Glade Riders, which is quite a common pick, then I still had something to deal with it. Like, Marauders would have done sweet jack shit to them, but I had Melkoff, Mystifize, and Miasma. I had Marauder Champions, which would have been really difficult for beat down due to the heavy armour, and I had some of my own skirmish as well. So, yeah, so I felt I went with a really good build against them. But I'll take you through the composition and then we'll go through his army. So, first things first, for my skirmishing, I went 4 Marauder Horsemen, figured that could sort of counterplay any Glade Riders they might have, Glade Riders with like Hagbane tips or whatever else, he could screen them out, and also screen out what he did actually bring. I also thought they could screen out, I also thought they'd be quite good for harassing the back line and getting in amongst the archers. I also went for 2 Norscan Ice Wolves, which I put on the flanks here. I did think about like hiding him away in the forest, but I didn't want him to go, there's no way he's brought like no cavalry, no skirmish, and I wanted to be able to see at least a portion of my army for that one. In the back here you can see I got over 2 Marauders, so that's 4 in total, and some Norscan Warhounds. Now they were deep vanguards, they're hidden, so he couldn't see them at this point. And for my front line, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Marauders, with shields, just to sort of soak up the fire from the archers, and push off any skirmish cav, all those bits and pieces. I went for Wolfric on foot. I thought better than putting him on a horse or putting him on a mammoth, would just have him on foot. Makes it harder for the archers to pick him off, particularly if he's doing a melee in that, which I'm still quite happy with that pick, to be honest. I think him on foot was the right move to do. Went for Famil Balefiend with Pendulum and Melkoff. The idea being he would just pendulum down the ranks of the archers, pretty straightforward. I also went for 4 Marauder Champions. I figured they'd probably trade pretty well with almost anything they bring. It's quite common to see Eternal Guard, so they can spend more money on their archers or their cav. So I figured I'd be pretty safe with that. They also have shields as well, so if it ended up being a bit of a longer, if he'd gone like really heavy with the skirmish, at least we could have actually absorbed that fire. So yeah, so that was my army. And if we have a look at Vinny's army, so Vinny went quite narrow, if I'm being honest. It wasn't an army I was expecting, but it turned out to be very, very effective. So on the right flank, he went for 2 Hawk Riders, which, I kind of half kind of expected. I mean, I expected some sort of skirmisher cav, so really wasn't the end of the world to have them. He went for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think it was 5. Yeah, 4 Eternal Guard with shields, really good unit, really versatile, got armor piercing, anti-large, certainly able to go toe to toe with my Marauders easily. The Wood Elves have got a really good roster, to be honest. Then he went for 2 Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, and he also went for the Wardens of Cithril, Wildwood Rangers with armor piercing. They were going to be good against my Marauder Champions, and he also went for the front line. He went for Treekin, and then he also went for the ROR Treekin, which is the Firebark Elders, which still doesn't really make any sense why trees are on fire. For his leadership kit, he went a Branch Wraith, and I think he definitely brought Earthblood. I think he might have brought Enfeebling Foe, I'm not sure. And I could probably check that actually. No, he brought Pendulum and he brought Earthblood, that's what it was. For Orion, he brought Orion in all his glory, and he also brought a Waystalker. So So yeah, so that was the army setups. I'll be honest, like from a setup point of view, I think I counter builded. My counter build is quite good. You know, I have something to challenge that. I have something to sort of challenge front line. When I first saw it, I'll be honest, the tree kind of scared me a bit. But I was like, yeah, I've got my Marauder Cav. They can just sort of poke him down in my infantry. Like the Marauder Champs will have staying power. They'll stay in that fight, and all he's really actually got for fighting him. Granted, these guys do armor piercing, just that. So yeah, so without further ado, we'll get going. So you can see here on the right flank, the Hawk Riders start like attacking me straight off the bat. I was alright with that. I don't think he was deliberately attacking me. I think they were just an auto fire. You see, I start to fall back in the flank here. I realised there's going to be a lot of pressure coming from here, so I decided to bring across my Marauder Horseman. Just to sort of screen these guys off. Now, what I wish I'd done is I wish I had just focused on screening these guys off. Instead, I just went straight for it because I figured, like, you know, from an infantry point of view, yeah, I've got a tree kin, but I'm going to definitely win that fight. And if I'm being honest, they started then targeting, like, likes of my, well, they're trying to target my Balefin, but the damage was limited. I mean, look at that, virtually no damage whatsoever like he's taken. So I decided, you know what, screw this. I just decided to pass past him. There was absolutely no reason to fight him. So I'm moving over a hill, just speed this up a little. I'm moving down towards the main fight now. So you can see the Starfire shafts start opening up on my Marauders, but that's exactly the target I want I'm going for. And I position my Northkin Ice Wolves just in like pressure points around the flank, and I decide to just move my Marauder Cav across to start focusing down these Treekin. I've decided just to completely ignore them. They've already wasted 25% of their ammunition. If I'm being honest, they really haven't paid for themselves yet. You can see there is oh no, it was a Waystalker we couldn't see. So we charge into the front line here. We're definitely going to be getting our arses pounded by these Firebark Elders. I managed to get a Melkoff, a Pendulum down there. Really not get him down. Managed to get my... Oh, he does the same to me. You see magic going off everywhere. I managed to get the... God, I can't even remember what that spell is. Something fine? Oh, God knows. But managed to get that spell down anyway, so... you can see the front line's not going particularly well from my point of view. He's already broken off a couple of Marauders, but in truth that was to be expected. But now my champions are now in amongst the fight, right? And Wolfric's gotten in amongst the barks. Orion has come around now. I didn't really notice this, but Orion was hunting my Balefiend, and I should have been on top of that. You can see I'm busy actually manoeuvring and taking up this back line. I managed to sneak through while he was focusing on taking up a Balefiend and bringing out my deep vanguard. So this back line is totally compromised, but the truth is he only brought 2 archers, so it's great to compromise the back line, but it's hardly like game ending. You see Orion just takes it to my familiar Balefiend, which I was really annoyed about, and I do eventually drop these. He's still dropping his pendulums. I should have been focusing on trying to get into his branch wraith and stuff, but I was still focusing on, you know, you just get stuck in the mindset, don't you? I've got to wipe out the archers, got to wipe out the archers. So you see Orion keeps hunting the Balefiend here, and this was a big mistake from my point of view. I ended up losing all magic. Like, I'm pretty sure I kept Enfeebling Foe. Yeah, I did take Enfeebling Foe for exactly fighting him, or for fighting a Lord, and then ended up not having access to it, which is a bit shit. So you can see Orion's taking poking damage, he really is. We've managed to sort of break off the Firebar, breaking off these front lines. These Treekin are still going, but we're shooting them down. He's got the Wardens chasing off everything else, but I mean, for the most part, his infantry line's gone. We're now fighting a 3 or a 4 on 1 fight, and you see, like, I'm winning it. I've dropped Hunter Champions, I've dropped all his buffs, so he's now up to a 94 melee attack. So we are absolutely dumpstering him, but this is a bit of a battle. So you see he's dropping that. I think I actually noticed it last minute. Oh, maybe not, no. Yeah, so, but for the most part, we're controlling the rest of the battlefield. Still got pitch fights, though. That's the problem, is we haven't broken him. You see, Orion is so close to dying here. So close, but so is Wolfric. And this is the problem, is right here. If I'd been able to finish Orion, if I'd been able to finish up this fight, I would have won. But you see, I start to try and pull Wolfric back. We've got my Marauder Horsemen are firing into the Waystalker. We're doing really, really well. But Orion's just tanking it now. With Wolfric out of the fight, I had nothing left armor piercing wise to take Orion down. And you can see, like, the skirmishing cav are still skirmishing away, but I keep having to, like, my Northkin Warhounds keep, like, breaking off and coming back, and you see Orion terror routes off all of these, which really wasn't good at all. Wolfric's now pretty much out of the equation and is getting gunned down by this Waystalker, and that's it. Orion's now just going to casually just regen itself. As you can see, it's just regenerating just now, and I've kind of lost anything I could use to take him down. I've still got my Marauder Champions, which is what I'll hope to use, but yeah, not looking good at all. Although the balance of power looks really good in my point of view, the problem is the things that he's got left. The leadership kit is the problem. Now here, I'm so close to taking Orion out, so close, and this is the problem. If I'd just been able to take him out, I would have won this. Hands down, but unfortunately managed to get him back across, gets an earth blood off. You can see his health starts to regen. I'm trying to break off the rest of the components. I'm thinking, right, if I can break off and destroy the other parts of his army, then surely his leadership will break. But I should have taken everything I had and just gotten onto these leadership units and screw everything else. There really wasn't much that could have caused a lot of damage to me. I was just stuck in his mindset to clear everything else off the field. And yeah, because you would ask yourself, how can I lose from this point here? But this bit here is really annoying. So Orion charges in, right? Now, I'm pretty sure I do turn around and decide to fight Orion, but I don't win this fight. Orion just time and time again pushes off my forces time and time again. See, look, it's just broken off one Marauders. These guys are tanking leadership. Try and get in amongst there because I'm trying to defeat Orion. We're also trying to get in a branch wraith now, and even though he's bringing stuff back, you can see we are getting chased by the Hawk Riders, but I'm quite happy with that. That's just kiting him away. We're chasing off this Waystalker, make sure he doesn't come back. But yeah, we just could not kill him. See, look at this. I'm bringing now everything in. Come like, right, here's my chance. I think if I can kill Orion, I should have enough left on the field to sort of finish up the branch wraith. Once the branch wraith and Orion are gone, this army is going to shatter. And you can see, like, the morale's really low in a lot of these guys. We're still poking away with them. But here, he drops one of his wonderful bound spells. I can't remember what it's called. It's the Talons of Kurnos, I think it is. And yeah, unfortunately, that just sort of breaks off any hope I had there. Which breaks off, I think it breaks off a champion unit, which is a problem. I've got no armor piercing in that pitch fight. We're actually winning this fight across here, which is just an absolute disaster. And yeah, I was starting to get really frustrated at this point, because I was like, oh Jesus, this is like, you know, balance of power is in my favour, but this is still looking pretty grim. He quite expertly chases off my cav there on that side, and you can see Orion's just tanking through all this damage. He's so difficult to kill when he's at a low point, whereas if I still had him feebling full, I probably could have beaten him. So I really misplaying my part, allowing that familiar Balefiend to be like taken down so quickly and so easily, along with Wolfric as well. So you can see we managed to push that off, and I'm like, alright, that's fine. We've got stuff coming back. It's just Orion and a branch wraith in there. I'm still kiting these guys. You know, I've still got heat. So like, the balance of power is still massively in my favour. So I'm now pulling everything back in. Unfortunately, River Earthblood goes off again because I just didn't focus on killing this branch wraith. But he's just about to break, and I'm thinking, right, okay, Orion hasn't got much left. The branch wraith's about to break. I'm using these guys to sort of screen that out. But then, disaster, everything starts shattering here. Not shattering, breaking off. So suddenly I'm just left with a couple of Marauder horse units to sort of chase this guy down. Hounds and all these bits and bobs. This side breaks off as well. It's just the morale kept letting me down time and time again. And you'll see, I'm like trying to like poke at these guys again, like trying to like force these guys off, and oh Jesus! But now the balance of power is starting to sway back in his favour. And at this point, I'm kind of like in disbelief. I'm like, Jesus, come on! I was that close to winning this fight, and yeah. Anyway, my units start coming back now, so you can see I think I start like forming up back here. Come back, look, I don't want to be this close to the edge to the battle. He picked his ground well. It meant the things that were breaking from my roster were just going straight off the field, so I decided to pull them back. I've still got plenty of ammunition, at least on this unit. I've got, how many? I've got 9 shots left of him, and I've got 3 shots left of him, so we're just still kiting away. I'm trying to kite off the branch wraith, because the branch wraith is the thing that can drop the earthblood, but you can see my army's just so broken, I really do not want to get into this fight at all. And he's sort of repositioning with what he's got left. And this is where like builds kind of come in play. Like, you know, I've got more troops left in the field. Granted, you know, these are hero characters or whatever else, but this isn't something I should have lost. You know, the morale of these guys is just unreal. So low, and that's the problem, is when you go with that sort of marauder like spam, you end up with that. Whereas, you know, actually, ironically, I would have done really well with a mammoth in this. He didn't actually have a counter to a mammoth, if I'm being honest. So I really wish I'd just gone for that. You can see here, we're just trying to force these guys off. We managed breaking layer, and I'll just charge into it just to force them off the side of the map there. And off they scoot. Cool. I'm still trying to get Marauder Champions ready to get it ready. So it's just a bit of posture in here. I don't really want to engage him in the woods, but they kind of come after me. So you see, I'm just chasing up them, making sure they're all gone, and then try and knock out these wardens of Cephal. And we're just sort of trying to poke Orion, but again, as everybody Earthblood goes off there, and yeah, Orion's now coming for revenge, just finish off these dirty marauders after they've killed all his kin. And yeah, we're then, like, while we're busy with that, I tried to get around to attack Bruntrafe, but unfortunately, that is pretty much going to be it. I just don't have enough killing power left, and you see, he just shatters off everything else. Again, I've put Marauders in, as per the rules of the game, for one last punch. So yeah, really, really close game, to be fair. Really, really frustrating. I wasn't expecting to be in that situation, like or that end play. Like I genuinely thought we had it in the bag, and then just out of nowhere, just Orion is just so tanky. Cool. So let's just have a wee look at the breakdown here. So breakdown was we had Wolfric, right? So Wolfric, you know, damage was alright. Damage value 1400. That's good. You know, he hasn't quite killed his worth back. Well, that's a problem. A female Barrel Fiend, it was a disaster. Losing him as quickly as what I did. Marauders did what Marauders do. I mean, some of them did really well. I mean, look at that, 578 damage and gold. That's pretty good. 520. Marauder Champs did okay. If I'm being honest, they didn't do as well, but it's because I ended up clumping them up. So I ended up giving him that opportunity for his spells to do the work, and it's really it's a misplay I do quite consistently. When I was playing on Saturday, and I need to learn from it. The Marauder Horseman, yeah, really good. And damage value, I was happy with their performance. Look at that, nearly 1,000, more than paying for themselves. Same with the Northern Ice Wolf play and Northern Warhounds. I thought that part, the skirmishing side of my army, went really, really well. I think my picks were right. I actually just got outplayed, if I'm being honest, which was frustrating, but you know, fair enough. The guy's a better player. So hat off to you, Vinny. Really, really good game. Really close. You can see Orion doing 4,000 damage, absolutely paying for himself. Bruntrafe 1,000. It's alright, you know. He kept buffing up Orion, so he more than paid for himself. Waywatcher did quite well because he was actually one that picked off Wolfric in the end. Not huge damage values, but yeah, is what it is. Eternal Guard held on till the very last breath, as they always do. You know, Eternal Guard. The Regiment around Warren and Sifral did okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's actually paying for that unit. I think it's close to paying for that unit. And yeah, his archers did sweet FA because I managed to take them out. His Hawk Riders actually did okay in the end. At the start of the match, their damage output was so low, but by the end of the match, it really did have them on the back foot, which was excellent. Or sorry, not on the back foot. They had me on the back foot, and they actually kind of picked off like the remnants of my army and just kind of kept things breaking off. His Treekin, they're roadblocks, aren't they? Like, they're not really designed to dish out huge amount of damage, but yeah, I wouldn't exactly pay for himself at all. So it's really Orion was the MVP of the match, just could not kill him. And my misplay with the Femir Bale Fiend at the beginning. Now I'm enfeebling foe, and enfeebling foe was exactly what I needed just to finish these heroes off. So yeah, yeah, good game, is what it is. And yeah, I'll just need to learn about the clumping and just sort of protect my casters a bit better, because I am a bit of an all-in sort of player, which really isn't the right way to be. Like, you've just got to be quite, and you'll see, like, I'll cast against the Scander. I mean, his builds are just disgusting, but like disgustingly good. But you see, he doesn't commit his entire force. He only commits the parts he needs to do, and I need to get way better at that. So yeah, so that was the first game, and now we will have have a look at game number 2. So game number 2, I'm a bit dumbstruck. I was like, oh shit, I genuinely thought I was going to win that one. And you know, Northka's, I don't know if quite a main is the way to go with it, but Northka's like one of my good factions, so to get beaten with my good faction, I was like, oh shit. But I'm alright if, I'm alright with Protonius. I decided to go that, so it was my pick. I banned, I'm trying to think, did I ban... Yeah, I banned Dowie, and I banned... I really wish I banned Empire. I can't remember what else I banned. Dowie and something else. But yeah, anyway, so with this match, I'll take you through the build. So on the on my flanks, I've got 2 Knights of the Realm, 2 Questing Knights, and decided to go with 2 mounted yeoman archers. They got used against me in a match, I can't remember which one it was, and like they were really annoying at Wrath. In the late game they were really good, so I decided to bring them. For my front line I just went peasant and peasant spam. I just needed something to soak up any fire and stuff he had. As it turns out he didn't really have much. And 4 men at arms, I went for the Green Knight along with Heavenless Wizard, thinking it would help in the melee fight, and I went for Luenker in this guy. So quite a straightforward build, to be honest. For the Empire, they went 2 Outriders. They went Demigryphs, and I'm starting to, like, I've used this, and I'll start to see this a lot, where actually they're using Demigryphs versus Bretonnia, and Demigryphs are out-trading some of the Bretonian Cav, which is really tough. Don't get me wrong, Bretonian Cav still win, and cost for cost, you know, Knights of the Realm versus them, they'll do almost equal damage. So, but they are a good, like, counter-charging unit for the front line. For his front line, he went just 2 spearmen, 2 spears with shields, 1 halberd, Sigmar's Sons, 2 swordsmen, and he went 2 handgunners. He went for Carfrans in the Knight and the Bright Wizard. So yeah, so a pretty straightforward army from his point of view, and I'll be honest, with a quick into this, I was like, alright, I kind of mis-skirmish played this, and I think I ended up pulling these guys all the way across, which is a bit stupid, but I'll start doing this. But yeah, I was feeling relatively confident. I got absolutely destroyed by Luenker in a previous match where I played with Carl Franz, so it's kind of like, you know, he brought no Jade with it, so there's no healing. So I genuinely thought, alright, I'm in a good place. So you can see here, I started bringing these guys across, realised that his skirmishing place on this side, and I don't want to get out skirmished, and I've got his Cav stuck in his woods. Bit of a silly move. I was still thrown from a liver game, like I had to play a second one, but in hindsight I shouldn't have played the next set of games I played after this. So yeah, I bring up my Knights here. He starts firing off this Firebolt. Now I stupidly think he's going for my Green Knight, so I actually moved my Green Knight out of the way, as you can see there. He gets a little bit caught up, but he was actually going for my Damsel, which is a little bit rough, but it's just speed this up a bit. So front line is the way to go and engage there. I'm just sending my peasants in along with my men at arms just to sort of pin down that front line, and my Cav is just sitting on the outskirts here, but you can see he's moved both his demis across. I'm now bringing across my Cav here, but I shouldn't have done that. So he had moved his demis, but I was like counter moving to his moves, and then you can see there I kind of go, oh shit, I'm up against 2 demis, and kind of shit myself a little bit. Whereas these Knights, I should have just thrown them straight into the front line. I bring a skirmisher stuff across. He'd actually kind of forgotten about this stuff, so I shouldn't have been worrying about this at this stage. I also, you see the Green Knight get straight in about the handgunners, and Lewin Carfrans drops in. Now at this point here, oh god, great burning head. At this point here, I see a great opportunity to put Curse and Midnight Wind down. Luenker drops in, and we've got the Green Knight and Luenker both pounding Carl Franz. And this is what happens in so many of my matchups when I play Empires. Carl Franz just gets bullied by 2 units, and you know, you put down all your buffs and just wipe them out. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, and I found this throughout a lot of this match, and actually 2 matches after, I don't know if it was just my frustration getting to me, but I found I kept getting like tripped up and stuck on like a single unit and not ever been able to get a target I wanted to get on. So Carl managed to escape there, and he shouldn't have been able to escape. And if I'd been quicker with my Knights would have been able to come around and would have been able to pin him. So just a bit of a bad timing push from my point of view. I start chasing up this Bright Wizard, and then decide to give up because I'm never going to get her off. And this is where I should have actually been using my mounted yeoman Cav just to sort of pick her down. I do eventually put them in there. On the flank there, you can see we did not win that fight against the Demigryphs. So I've already lost 2 of my Cav units at this stage. The front line is now getting crumped a little bit, albeit, like, you know, I'll win this because of my heroes. But again, I get countercharged by the Demigryphs, which is really rough, like really rough pick, unfortunately. Not much you can do about it, is what it is, but yeah, it was honestly, it was just bad play from my point of view. My army wasn't terrible, I had the tools to do what I needed to do, but I was fighting the fights he wanted me to fight. You see how he goes after my caster. My Green Knight's doing well, he's just fighting away. Luenker jumps in and supports my Knights, who are battering down the Demigryphs. So I did think at this point here, I was like, right, my Green Knight's relatively close, I'm bringing in some of my Cav. Problem is he's broken off everything else, right, but all my values here. So I did think, right, Carl's going to jump in here, and I thought, what a boost. So if I can get on Carl again and actually defeat him this time. But you can see, again, Carl, so I drop Sword of Crone, but Carl just manages to, like, squeak through again. So now my car's pretty much broken off. I'm trying to get past him, and I just could not path to him. Which, you know, it's not like there was anything dodgy going on. It was just really unfortunate I couldn't get on him. I feel like if I could have gotten on him and wiped him out, I might not get this game back in my favour, because it's still like half and half. You know, I've still got Lewin, who does perpetual healing. I've got a Green Knight. Fortunately, I managed to dodge that one. And my units are coming back all over the place, but honestly, it's too little too late at that point for those sort of things. And I'm just kind of stuck, so I decide to like get into this pit fight now. I can see the Royal Griffites are coming over, so I decide to countercharge them. You see, I've actually got Quest Knights coming from the back, and this actually works really, really well. So I actually managed to take these guys down to Pound Town, which is really, really good. So. But yeah, I just don't have enough left to sort of counter his infantry, and that's the problem. I couldn't get my troops back together because they'd retreated off, you know, at various different angles. But yeah, we managed to finally beat him down, which, you know, I was like, oh, finally a victory in this matchup. And then at this stage, I really wish I had gone on Jade Wizard. If I did healing and been able to heal these guys back up, I might have actually stood a chance. Because bear in mind, like, this is still shit, you know, it's Empire shit, but it's shit. So I tried to get round past these guys again. See, I'm just getting tripped up there, trying to get on his handgunners, and I tried to just sort of like charge through again and get onto the next guys, but I just don't have enough left, and that's the problem. And I'm just trying to take out mobile things that can, but he's still got his Outriders, he's still got Carl, he's still got his Bright Wizard. My units are now breaking off, and you see a balance of power is really, really slipping into his favour. And the problem is, with the rules of the tournament, I need to like engage, don't I? So I have to engage on, you know, I can't just like kite and kite and kite. I have to be fighting at least somewhere, making some sort of aggressive move. So Green Knight's now getting shot to bits by his Bright Wizard. Lewin's looking a bit weak, and now we've got this missile play up and firing at Lewin. Now Lewin's got quite a bit of defense against that. Carl decides, screw this fight, I'm just going to go off and scare everything else off. So well played to there, Vinny. And yeah, I'm like, alright, maybe I'll be able to get this Bright Wizard, but yeah, we're just getting sort of gunned down. And at this point, I kind of already know this is game, and I'm not going to go and just kite him into oblivion and like chase down his Bright Wizard and try and come back that way. I might have gotten Lewin's back, but there's a lot there. I don't think Lewin could have fought his way through there. If he'd only had, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 units left, what I probably would have done is I probably would have gone and literally just chased the Bright Wizard until I caught him. Or, I don't know, it's difficult because the Bright Wizard was always going to outpace me. So I decided just to commit to this fight. I'm not going to mess the guy around. He's played well, his builds are good, and I've really played quite poorly in this match, which was quite frustrating because previous match I played really well. In my mind, it's just that one wee bit I just didn't manage to finish off Orion. And again here, exact same. I committed heavily into Karl Franz. My initial maneuvers were what he wanted me to maneuver to, not what I wanted to maneuver to, which is really, really silly. And then yeah, you can see here we're just in the middle. So yeah, so I'm just going to fast forward up, not much point in, just sitting me watching me get absolutely battered. Unfortunately he dies at this point. I went GG, and the Green Knight then gets finished off. So yeah, sadly it was 2-0 to Vinny. But you know, well played, caps off to you. Your builds were good, your play was solid as well, you weren't reactive to what I was doing, you did what you wanted to do, which was really, really good. And let's just go through the breakdown. So we had Lewinker at 1400 damage. Didn't pay for himself, unfortunately. I still think Lewinker's a good pick. It's just my wizard getting thingied off and my cav getting destroyed on that right flank because he got outnumbered by, like, I should have just sent like so Lewin across and maybe a wizard across to help win that fight really decisively. And if I'd been able to eliminate that his demigriff play, he would have actually struggled, because then I would have had all the mobility I wanted in the main field. I could have used my yeoman combined with maybe them to sort of ping me off the Outriders, or just cycle charge or whatever else. So yeah, real misplay from my point of view. Damsel, again, same as the previous game. I just forget about these bloody wizards. So I end up investing like, you know, 1,000 gold into wizard, and then they do 3 kills. That's a bit sad. Green Knight I still think is an excellent pick. You know, 1800. I don't know if that quite paid for himself, but I think he's, you know, it's a great unit, really is. And he's always the last one standing, isn't he? So he's scary to fight, causes terror, all that good stuff. Peasants did what peasants meant to do, same as the men at arms. You know, like, he held long enough, to be honest. I maybe should have gone Quest Knights, maybe should have gone 4 Knights of the Realm. And maybe got in artillery, forced him to come to me rather than me coming to him, and I could have actually done a lot of damage to that infantry before he got in. Knights of the Realm. Logan's paid for himself, Logan's Quest Knights paid for himself, so they were the guys that were on the left flank, and you can see the ones that are on the right flank just got dumped, especially at Quest Knight. I mean, that's 1,600 gold down the share, so really not good there. Yeoman Archers did sweet jack shit. I think it was the way I played them rather than them being a bad unit, but it's what it is. Karl Franz didn't quite pay for himself, but in reality did. I mean, he became a target for my units. He chased off the damsel, he chased off any returning units. Bright Wizard did an excellent job. His burning head and fireballs really good for the match. Infantry all did a really good job. Held the line. His handgunners, I mean, look at that. Those handgunners did an excellent job. I think that's because they were firing into the damsel and Lewin was perpetually healing through that, and also into the Green Knight. Demigriffs did really well. Destroyed my right flank, and yeah, if I'm being honest, that's what really cost me a game. And then but if you look at his handgunners here, his Outriders did a really good job. And you know, a unit like that should not get nearly 1,700 gold in damage dealt. So yeah. Really good. Thank you for the games, man. And yeah, so that is us finished our. God, is that our 7th game? Yeah, and then I played my 8th later on that day, which I'll cast probably tomorrow or the day after. And then I've only got 2 games left, but we're still not managed to get a hold of one guy. So, yeah, we'll see how my game that I publish tomorrow goes, and then yeah, but it's getting really close, getting to the end of the qualifier now, just a week left to go, so not long at all. But if you enjoyed the video, guys, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. It'll let you know when I'm updating new things, and subscriptions also helps me as well, helps me dedicate more time to the channel. And yeah, cool, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.